Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today, R.I.S.E Gold Corp filed a current report on Form 8, and it is about a major legal setback that could impact their project. Quick note, this is not financial advice, just my take on public filings for educational purposes. The company just announced a court ruled against their subsidiary in a significant environmental lawsuit. And the details here are pretty concerning. This report is about a legal battle that R.I.S.E Gold Corp has been involved in with a group called Community Environmental Advocates, or CA for short. So, what happened? CA took R.I.S.E Grass Valley, which is a part of R.I.S.E Gold Corp, to court. The core of the lawsuit is about pollution. CA claims that R.I.S.E Grass Valley is responsible for allowing pollutants, specifically metals like arsenic, to enter a local creek without the proper permits. This is a violation of the Clean Water Act. Now, R.I.S.E Gold has a different view of things. They argue that they do not own the specific areas where these discharges are supposedly happening. They don't own the surface drains. And importantly, they don't own the top 200 feet of ground where these old mine shafts are located. These shafts were apparently shut down a long time ago and covered up. Here's where it gets really interesting about their defense. R.I.S.E Gold points out that no one has actually tested the water in the mine shafts below that 200-foot mark, which is where they say the alleged pollution is coming from. They have tested water in the mine at a different shaft, the New Brunswick shaft, and guess what? No arsenic was found there. They also bring up the geology. The rock near where the pollution is supposedly coming from is called serpentinite. This type of rock naturally contains a lot of arsenic because the rock close to the surface is very broken up. Rain and groundwater can easily dissolve that arsenic, but R.I.S.E Gold says that the rock becomes much more solid or competent deeper down in the mine where their actual workings are. Even more critically, their water samples from deeper in the mine show that the water there does not have enough oxygen. They argue that for acid rock drainage, which is often how metals leach into water, you need oxygen. So they believe it is unlikely that the water in their mine workings is picking up arsenic and other metals. And their case gets stronger when you look at other things CA claims are in the water, things like E. coli coliform bacteria and toluene. R.I.S.E Gold states that these pollutants could not possibly have come from their mine. This suggests the pollution source might be something else entirely. Now, the legal process here involves something called summary judgment. In simple terms, when this happens, the judge has to assume that all the claims made by the party who is not asking for the judgment are true. R.I.S.E Gold argues that the judge made a mistake here, because they dispute the idea that water from their mine below 200 feet is causing any violation of the Clean Water Act. They also highlight that there is no proof that the pipe or culvert they are pointing to as the source of the discharge is even connected to the mine shaft, and there is also no proof that the shaft, which is 100 years old, is still connected to the actual mine workings. R.I.S.E Gold's management and their legal team are currently looking closely at this decision. This is a significant development. This isn't a small fine, it is a court ruling that has gone against their subsidiary. Historically, when companies face these kinds of environmental lawsuits, especially those involving water pollution and Clean Water Act violations, it can lead to very costly remediation efforts and significant operational restrictions. We saw something similar with companies like Clorox or Caesars in similar legal situations, where the road to recovery was long and expensive. For a company like R.I.S.E Gold, with a market cap of around $15 million, a ruling like this could be a major shock to its financial stability. Looking ahead, the company has not provided specific financial forecasts in this particular filing, but this legal judgment is a huge factor to consider for any investor. Their last reported quarter showed a net loss of over $2.5 million, so absorbing any penalties or cleanup costs from this lawsuit will be a significant challenge. The Canadian Investment Regulatory Organisation also put out a trading halt notice for the stock on May 20th, which adds another layer of concern about what is happening behind the scenes. What does this mean for R.I.S.E Gold Corp? Well, this is a clear negative event. The court has ruled in favour of the environmental group, at least at this stage. Even though R.I.S.E is reviewing the ruling and believes the judge may have misapplied the law, the immediate impact is that their subsidiary has been found responsible. The company states that the bedrock naturally contains arsenic and that its own deeper mine water samples show no contamination, but the court seems to have sided with CA. Claims for now, the biggest risk I see right now is the financial burden this lawsuit could impose. If R.I.S.E Gold is forced to pay fines or conduct extensive environmental cleanup, it could seriously drain their limited resources, especially given their current financial performance. I'll be watching to see how they plan to address this ruling and what their next legal steps will be. Oh, and the research tools I actually use are linked in the description. They help keep this channel going. That is my take. Stay decoded. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description.